2-point Blazers lead. There you go. Simon's over. And dunks it down. Hello.
This is Amen. And if you think you're seeing double, it's because you are. He's the identical twin brother of Asar Thompson, who we profiled last year as perhaps the most insane defensive athlete ever. And since they share the same genes, Amen has joined the conversation in his second season. He's a touch bigger than Asar at 6'7", but still moves like a cat. He's strong enough to match up with bruising centers like this and hold his own, then take the elevator to deny an entry pass. And he's so fast that on this play, he looks like he scooped a mushroom in Mario Kart. And he just completely freaks Bobby Portis into a turnover. Like his brother, his recovery is otherworldly, which means he's extremely difficult to drive past. So even when he's recovering against a star like Jalen Williams, he can beat him to the spot perfectly, spin with him, and then stay with the fadeaway. This time Jalen Brunson rocks him, and he's beaten here, but in just 3 steps, he's back in front of the ball and then just destroys the shot at the hoop. And even if you manage to screen him off and turn the corner, Amen is still a wrecking ball from behind, guarding Trey Murphy III, moving horizontally, then suddenly defying the laws of physics to block this layup. And he's still on the ground when it's released, but is like a rocket ship coming off the floor. Seriously, I'm not sure any wing has ever left the ground faster than a Thompson twin. They need 0 windup to launch off the ground. I mean, literally 0. This is one of the most mind-bending blocks I've ever seen in basketball. And on the up fake, he takes an extra tiny step with his right foot, but still somehow taps his feet into position to tap that layup. No. Even his basic ball pressure really catches opponents off guard, making it difficult just to bring it up the floor. Look at how he stalks Rob Dillingham on this play like he's prey before deciding to take his lunch money. And this dude has some of the most dangerous hands I've ever seen. And he moves like a blur when he attacks the ball, almost like he's going at his own speed while everyone else is slowed down. This might capture it better than anything, where instead of a no-look pass, he hits Cade Cunningham with the no-look steal, and he's glancing the other way while Cade's starting a dribble, and before the ball hits the other hand, he's on it, and then he's quick enough to track it down and stay in bounds, and flight attendants prepare for takeoff. Because of his unfair Thompson genes, he can stay balanced while swiping at the ball repeatedly. And this is like some basketball version of the 100 hand slap from Street Fighter, just swatting at the rock until he gets it. And after that public undressing of Nickeil Alexander-Walker for the pick 6, he's right back on him again, only this time he passes him to Tari Eason and it's another turnover. And Eason is the other Rocket reserve, just terrorizing teams out there. Although he does more of his damage helping off the ball. Tari's an absolute sniper, helping off the corners on drives around the basket like this, and it almost looks like over-helping at times. There's a second defender already in the paint, but he's so good at timing these up, they almost never backfire. So together, these so-called terror twins just wreak general havoc out there, turning up the heat on teams and causing chaos, switching onto anyone and pressuring the ball to make basic penetration difficult, and they often just fluster opponents into uncharacteristic mistakes. And since Houston switches a ton, it's hard to avoid these two. Amen lets Tari take the ball here, and then when Damian Lillard tries to drive, it's Thompson who crushes it from behind. This tandem authors some of the craziest tag team possessions since the Legion of Doom, with Tari lunging for a steal to freak out James Harden. Then, after Harden wrestles the ball back for the Clippers, it's Amen who comes lurking back into the picture and then just absolutely spikes this off the glass, and we're not done, because Eason's there with a backup closeout to block the jumper and hide the women and children. I love plays where they simultaneously show off their strengths. Harden turns the corner here with Thompson in pursuit. Eason's on the weak side, and they both end up crushing it. And yes, this is the incredibly rare double block where only one defender is credited with a rejection, and it's understandable the scorekeeper went with Eason here because he has incredible accuracy with his hands pursuing the ball like this. He actually targets the ball lower than most defenders, going after it while it's in a shooter's hands, and this technique reminds me of Tim Duncan swatting it before the shot is released. And Tari might do this better than anyone in today's game, even catching players off guard by attacking the ball as they move through their shooting motion. Bobby Portis is still wondering what happened there. Anyway, his hand-eye coordination is just freakish in these spots, where he just mirrors the passer perfectly here, and this is like trying to throw it around an octopus. These deadly hands allow him to play that aggressive roaming style where he leaves his man and causes destruction in the paint. And the Rockets' scheme really swarms the lane with extra defenders. And part of this is how well these guys recover in rotation, unlocking all these defensive skills. And there's another mushroom power-up for Amen, turning defense into offense. And Tari's instincts almost encourage what looks like overhelping, where this pick and roll seems to be contained, but Eason still slides way over anyway and nearly blocks Harden's jumper. Here's my favorite example, where Amen is chasing Jalen Williams around screens. He's timing up the block from behind, and then Tari snatches it instead. And there are two Rockets already there, but these guys are just monsters. I mean, on the inbounds, Case and Wallace can barely even get off a shot. And when they're not on the floor, the Rockets are outscoring teams by about 4 points per 100. But when they play together, that number jumps to +9. And here's what's really interesting. When these two are on the bench, 53% of the Rockets' turnovers are live ball turnovers. But when they both play, that number skyrockets to 66%, which means more easy offense from defense. This duo has tortured a number of teams this year, but I really noticed the psychological stress they can put you under in the Warriors game earlier this year during a bonkers 31-point comeback to force overtime, where in the third, Tari took his intensity to 5 Red Bulls, just yelling at everyone in earshot, even while guarding the ball. And then after the Rockets complete the possession with a stop and rebound, he was still hyping up his teammates. He was just on one, playing with 5 fouls and ripping Jonathan Kuminga to end the third quarter for a dunk. And then to start the fourth, they can't get anything off the dribble around these two guys, so they post Kuminga, and Amen just beats him to a spot, walls him, stays down, and nearly blocks the shot. Out of a timeout, Brandon Pajemski walks right into the 100-hand slap. Thompson goes and tracks it down, and all of a sudden it's a 7-point game. And the next possession is a defensive clinic. Dribbling around Amen is an adventure. Passing near Tari is too dangerous, so they finally find a way to get it over to Draymond in the post. He can't find anyone, so he tries to bully little Reed Shepherd down low, and on the rebound, Amen wisely switches to Buddy Hield. That makes Hield hesitant to shoot, and he can't drive by him, so he gives it to Kyle Anderson for a turn, and Golden State could not buy a decent shot in this stretch. A minute later, the Warriors are trying to get into their split cuts. The Rockets switch it, so Draymond turns to rescreen the switch, but Jabari Smith just powers through anyway, and Hield throws into danger because apparently he didn't get the memo about Eason and denying passes, and that 31-point lead is down to 3. And to cap this unbelievable run, Tari put Andrew Wiggins in his crosshairs, dispossessed him from behind, then streaked in to cut the lead to 1. And on the very next trip, after the Warriors tracked down an offensive rebound, Eason nearly stripped Hield, only Golden State was able to recover, and I will let the Rockets broadcasters do the honors here.
Wojcicki, Stonewall, Eason, another steal. Oh my goodness!
Houston lost that game in OT, but that half foreshadowed the elite defense they would play this year and the sheer destruction these Terror twins can unleash, because Tari, Eason, and Amen Thompson combined to make up one of the most dynamic and devastating pairs of defenders in the NBA right now. To support this channel, patreon.com/thinkingbasketball. That's where we have proprietary stats on teams and players throughout the year. We also have a Discord community, and you can get all of our extra video content over there, or sign up on YouTube as a member, where we also live stream the podcast. Thanks for watching all the way to the end on this one. Hope you enjoyed it and that you are having a great day.